There's activity at Ramsgate Port, car deliveries, a concrete plant. It's a base for an offshore wind farm. But will ferries ever return? Thanet District Council, the leaseholder, has now chosen to stop paying the £730,000 a year needed to make the port ferry ready.
I think, sadly, it has been a delusion. It has been a delusion that has gripped the council for 5 years. If they'd grown up and accepted reality, we could have saved ourselves £730,000 a year for the last 5 years, and that money could have been spent on TDC core services.
Pulling the plug on funding follows the government's decision to cancel a contract with Seabourn Freight to run a Ramsgate Ostend service as part of a plan to ease pressure on Dover in the event of a no-deal Brexit. That decision, in part, has led to the government settling a lawsuit with Eurotunnel. The Thanet and East Kent Chambers of Commerce believe Ramsgate can return to being a functioning ferry port. They'll submit a proposal soon. The council says it will look at all options, including the idea of creating a maritime village.
What we need to do is look at Ramsgate as a whole and look at the whole of the shoreline from Dumpton Gap all the way up to Pegwell Bay to see what we can do there and how any sort of new development or new facility might fit into the landscape overall. And I think what's really important is economic regeneration from the area, the prospect of bringing in jobs that are fit for the future and the prospect of sustainable development.
Is all that money wasted though, all those many hundreds of thousands preparing the port to be ferry ready? Does that mean that's wasted money?
I don't think you can look at it like that. I mean, the point was that the port was kept open in the hope that we would have a ferry operation. So in my view, that does actually represent the quickest way for the port to retain and resume profitability. The fact is that it was a decision taken by previous administrations that we would remain ready. Now, having decided that we're not, that means that we do have to actually reduce costs.
The council says that when it's narrowed down options for the future, it will turn to consultancy firms to come up with specific plans.
And further developments on this story today with the government announcement that it settled a lawsuit with Eurotunnel for £33 million. Derek sent this from Ramsgate.
This is an embarrassing and costly mistake for the government as it spends money trying to get a smooth Brexit at the end of March, hopefully. Remember, it wanted Ramsgate to be just one of several ports with either a new or improved freight ferry operation that would assist Dover and help it in the event of a disruptive or no-deal Brexit. Eurotunnel, though, said that in awarding the contracts, the government was being unfair and it was muscled out. It was annoyed because it used to run its own ferry service, My Ferry Link, that was forced to close in 2015 because it was deemed to be unfair to go straight up in competition against ferry companies. So it's won a lot of money for the government and it's all very embarrassing.